Hey, how's it going? This is Melinda and welcome to my channel. Today, this is going to be a little bit of a different video. I've had some things said to me recently that I want to address with you all because if I've heard it and people have said it to me, there's a good chance that people have said this to you. And I guess what I really want to talk about is vinyl collecting has made me an outcast in some ways with my friends in what I call the real world. You know, people that I've been friends with for years, people I've known for an extremely long time, I've been friends with for an extremely long time. And then I started getting into vinyl collecting, and they don't understand. So I feel like if I'm going through this, maybe a lot of you are going through this as well. And I've heard Joe from Mean Mr. Mayo's video talk about having passions in life. And he's talked about how people maybe put down people who have vinyl collections, or in his case, a Beatles collection. And I really like that he puts it this way. What's wrong with having a passion in your life? Something that excites you in the morning, gets you out of bed, gets you going every day. I love that he has had that and he's talked about that on his video, and I feel the same way. In my everyday, real life, people that I've been friends with for a long time, I don't talk about making vinyl videos. I don't talk about my channel. I just talk about real life issues, our kids, what's going on in the world, fun things to look forward to, just other things other than this. I avoid this because I know they're not interested. They're not they might talk about music or a favorite band, but they don't want to talk about vinyl records or CDs or anything like that, and I get it. I do have a best friend. I'm so grateful for her. She will listen to me. I don't talk a lot, even with her, about my channel or my vinyl record collecting habits, but I can mention them to her, and she's fine with it. So I'm really grateful to have my best friend. But for the most part, when it comes to people that we're friends with in real life, I don't talk about my channel at all. And I want to say thank you to everyone here that watches my channel, that talks to me on a weekly basis. You guys are a little bit of my lifeline when it comes to this amazing hobby, the passion for music. I'm so grateful that I have you to talk to because I don't really have anybody in my real life. No one else is really interested in vinyl records. My daughter used to be, but she's had to put her vinyl passion on hold. She is in medical school. She's very busy. She is a poor medical student. And I have bought records for her, but you know, she just has had to shut that off of her life right now. I don't know if it'll come back or not. I hope it does. I think it would be a really good bonding experience, but you know, if it doesn't, that's okay too. I had a friend say something very hurtful to me. I say it's hurtful, but I can promise you it's not affecting me a lot. So I don't want to hear oh, I'm so sorry, somebody said that to you, Melinda. That's not what this video is about. I'm not asking for sympathy. I just feel like if I'm hearing this, you're hearing it too. And so maybe we can commiserate together. But I had a friend, someone who I've known for an extremely long time, a couple. They're really good friends with ours, and the guy had a little bit too much to drink, and he finally just looked at me. He said, "When is this vinyl madness going to end?" And it took me by surprise. I wish I had a better answer for him. All I could say in the moment is, never. I love vinyl records. I think they sound wonderful. I love the hunt. I love having them in the collection. I love pulling them off the shelves, putting them on the turntable, and being able to listen to records. You know, this person that said that to me is a huge sports fan. The TV is on 24/7 on ESPN or whatever he wants to listen to or watch. What if I said to him, when is this sports madness gonna end? I think it would have shocked him because he doesn't see it the same way. He thinks, well, that's just the way things are. Most people are into sports. Most people aren't into vinyl records. So I get that. Sports are more popular than vinyl records. But it's the same thing. It's a passion in life. So I don't know where else I'm going with this video other than it just really bothers me. And I think an eye-opener has been very recently. I have always in the past kept my vinyl collecting to myself. If you go into my house, all of my vinyl records are covered up. You don't see them anywhere. But recently, I added some bookshelves, as you can see behind me. I wanted to have them so that when I'm talking and making videos, I wanted to have them in the background. And to be honest with you, I had run out of space in other areas. Up until recently, my vinyl collection was hidden behind shelves and a pretty little curio where I could put records in that, and no one really said anything. What's interesting about this is I really believe that because I now have these bookshelves and they're just stuffed with vinyl records, if all of these were books, first edition books, special edition books, no one would be saying a word to me. They'd be like, wow, what a beautiful library you have. Amazing books, so cool, they're so pretty. But you know what? These are also pieces of history, first pressings, special editions, just like books. They're full of information, they're full of interesting facts, a piece of history, and yet people don't see it the same way. You know, it's just very hurtful to me that people can judge me based on what I listen to, how I listen to it, what I like to do. Going to record stores, they think that's crazy on weekends, what a waste of time. Let me tell you, this love and passion of vinyl came to me at a time when I needed it most. My daughter, at age 16, was accepted to go into a college. She left our home to go into college. It was basically a high school, but they had moved on to college courses. At the time that she was accepted, it was the #1 public high school ranked in the United States. How could I tell her no? I wasn't ready to give her up at age 16. But she was already on a path that she's still on today in medical school. Who am I to tell her, nope, you have to stay home with me, forget your dreams and what you want to do, I need you at home. I couldn't do that to my daughter. She was ready to spread her wings and I needed to be ready with her. It was so hard to let her go. So in a way, discovering vinyl and getting into this hobby was a godsend for me. It was a way to welcome in my empty nester new situation. I had to let my daughter fly and go away, and then I was an empty nester. And being able to get into vinyl collecting, making these videos, listening to vinyl in my home, was a very soothing, very helpful process. Didn't have to take any kind of pills to get me through it. No alcohol, nothing. Just the high of listening to music, getting into vinyl, and being able to talk to you all was enough. So vinyl has been very helpful. It's been very meditative, very soothing for the soul. But I can't help but to feel like, wow, a lot of the people in my real life just don't get it. And yet there's so many people who do. It's a mixed bag. So if I'm feeling that, you all must be too. I guess even though I've been hurt a little bit by some of the comments I receive and maybe some of the eye rolls I get and people just looking around at these bookshelves and they're like, oh my gosh, you have so many records. Why? I get that a lot. Here's my response. I guess this is the best way to put it. It is a passion for me. I love going to vinyl record stores. I know my husband has also enjoyed it, even though he doesn't give a flip about vinyl records. I know that he was feeling that emptiness when our daughter left the coop as well. And he enjoyed our little trips on weekends of going to record stores. He got to meet record store owners. And we got to go to towns we'd never been to before and go to restaurants we'd never been to before. And he is so supportive of me, and I'm so grateful for that. We've been able to find some amazing records and share some wonderful record memories that we've been able to have together, of finding records, going to all of these wonderful cities and towns, discovering record stores. It's just been really wonderful. So to the people who question why we have record collections, or for some of you, CD collections, you have shelves of CDs. There's so many people who have CD collections that watch my channel. They're maybe not into vinyl, maybe they are into streaming, but they understand, and I'm so grateful. I guess this is my best explanation of why I'm into vinyl and why maybe some people are just never going to understand. And that's okay. They don't have to. I have never tried to put people into, you have to buy vinyl records. I'm not trying to talk anybody into it at all. But I guess what I would say is you are never going to experience Led Zeppelin 2 the way I have been able to on this Robert Ludwig Hot Mix vinyl record. And I have a nephew who has heard this record 100 times through streaming. He heard it on vinyl in my stereo equipment in the sweet spot of my living room. And he looked at us and he said, I have never heard that record in the way I just heard it. His jaw was dropped and he absolutely couldn't believe what he just heard. A lot of people who are just into streaming will never understand what it's like to be able to have a mono and stereo version of the same record and realize how amazing they both are for different reasons and be able to enjoy them. A lot of people look at having 2 LPs of the same record and thinking it's crazy. Maybe it is. But it's my kind of crazy, and I really dig it. There's just so many great ways you can listen to the same album. And I love having mono versions and stereo versions and audiophile versions and regular original copies. They're all cool to me. Now, I also know that a lot of people, depending on what political side you are, it shouldn't matter. All artists have political views. Some of them are a little more outspoken than others. Ted Nugent, if you've never heard Stranglehold on the Analog Productions 45 RPM album, you are missing out. It is so good. Even the originals on vinyl are amazing. If you've never heard this on vinyl, wow, you're missing out. That's all I can say. If you Stranglehold, I'm happy for you. Enjoy. but I like the way I listen to it much better. The Doors, LA Woman. I've never heard it the way I hear it on Analog Productions 45 RPM. Riders of the Storm, LA Woman. Don't you love her madly? I feel sorry for you. If you think having this vinyl record in my collection is crazy and treat me like an outcast, you're the one missing out. Same with Lynyrd Skynyrd. If you've never heard Freebird on vinyl, and this is the 45 RPM from Analog Productions, I'm sure the originals sound amazing too. You're missing out, but you don't, enjoy your streaming. That's great. Nothing wrong with enjoying streaming until you insult me for how I like to listen to records. Then I take a little bit of an offense, The Mobile Fidelity Michael Jackson Thriller audiophile experience is like nothing I've ever heard before. I hear things about this record that I've listened to a gazillion times, literally a gazillion times. I hear things on this version I've never heard before. It is a great sit-down listening experience that will have you dancing in your seat. And if you want to stream Michael Jackson's Thriller instead of listening to a vinyl version, that's fine. But don't put me down for listening to it on vinyl because it's so great. Also, when you're streaming records and new releases, yeah, there's probably a few things you can look forward to. Brand new releases just coming out. But there's been some releases that are coming out that I know are coming eventually. And when I'm having a bad day and something's kind of going on that bothers me, I've been able to use the thought of releases coming up soon as a way to cheer me up. For example, and this is the one step of Eagles Desperado, which sounds absolutely amazing. Pretty soon we are going to be getting the Eagles Hotel California. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to hear Van Halen on a one step. Van Halen sounds great on vinyl. They sound good on streaming too. You could stream Van Halen. But my goodness, if you want to hear music the way it was intended originally, vinyl's the way to go. So yes, it hurts my feelings. I am treated a little bit like an outcast. I know there's some people out there that when I talk about vinyl records or when they find out I have a vinyl YouTube channel, they kind of chuckle a little to themselves, and they've asked me some weird questions about my vinyl buying habits. I'm not sorry. Not sorry for being a vinyl collector. And again, I want to say thank you to everyone who watched my channel. So many of you watch every single week, or maybe when you find a topic interesting. Thank you so much for watching me and for supporting me. You all get it. You really do. CD collectors, vinyl collectors, people who like the physical format, you get it. And I'm so grateful to have you guys. So many of you, and many of you, most of you, I've never met before in person. But I'm so grateful to know there's people out there like me who are considered outcasts maybe in the real world. But I say we have a wonderful passion, something to invigorate our lives, something we look forward to every day. I would take that over being smug and just looking down on someone like me. I'd much rather be me. So if you can relate to this video, let me know your experiences. Have people kind of made fun of you or put you down in the past about your vinyl collecting habits or CD habits, whatever it is? Let me know in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this video or can relate to it, please subscribe, hit the like button and the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.